Welcome to Big Screen, Little Screen. We're going to review, rank, and reconsider some big screen fan favorites for your little screen pleasure. I'm your host, Johnny, aka Black Kool-Aid, and I'm joined by two of my co-hosts. First, Andrew. How's it going, buddy?
It's going great. Batman 1989 is not a good Batman film. Michael Keaton is a horrible Batman, and the Bat Cowl is absolutely horrible and stupid.
And that's what Evil Dead 2 is about.
Oh my god. What a way to be introduced. Well,
I'm not wearing hockey pants.
Jesus Christ, I don't know what to do now.
Carry on, my wayward son.
Next is my other co-host, Kyle. How's it going?
Doing pretty good, man. Just got rid of his headache. Had some couple cups of coffee, so I'm ready to go. How are you doing,
Isn't
sir?
it 8:47 your time?
Yes.
You just polished off a couple cups of coffee at 8:47 at night.
Yes.
I'm my own man. I make my own hours these days.
I guess so.
I'm doing good. Just
Oh, hold on.
What,
Johnny,
What?
hey,
Yes.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good, Andrew.
Okay.
Thanks for asking. Thank you.
You're welcome.
As you guys can clearly notice that we're missing a co-host. Matt, unfortunately, he had to do some work, so he couldn't make it. So we have this great picture of him on stream for you guys.
Always with us in spirit.
Oh yeah, of course. Never a dull moment with or without Matt, so we're good. Anyways, continuing with these reviews is Evil Dead 2. This movie was directed again by Sam Raimi, and this movie was released March 13th, 1987, 6 years after the first movie. This movie's budget was $3.5 million with the box office of $10.9 million, which that's a decent chunk. The actors and actresses in this movie were Bruce Campbell, as always, then Sarah Berry, Dan Hicks, Cassie Wesley, and Richard Domere. And I have
Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon. There you go.
He was in this
Sounds
movie
better.
himself.
Sounds better. All right, going with these movie facts. Actually got this off IMDb, which actually worked really well this time because for some reason I was trying to get facts before, couldn't get anything, but I got tons for this movie. All right, so first one. During the scene where the severed head of Linda bites Ash's hand, Bruce Campbell said the single line, "work shed." This line was later redubbed in the post-production due to the quality of the audio, giving it a strange, slightly disproportionate sound to the audio. 9 years later, while filming his cameo in Escape from L.A., the first thing Kurt Russell said to Bruce Campbell on the set was jokingly, "Say work shed."
Dude, I noticed a lot of that throughout this movie, just like dubbed shit.
The ADR in this movie is horrible.
I almost want to do the reviews first because I don't have many good things to say. Continue.
Okay. Stephen King was such a huge fan of the Evil Dead that he convinced producer Dino De Laurentiis over dinner. I can't pronounce. It's like the last three is like TIIS. It's like titties. I don't know. Over dinner.
More titties.
Over dinner, which he was the director over. He was the producer of Maximum Overdrive when it in 1986. To have his production company DEG finance Evil Dead 2. All right.
They needed it.
Yeah. Often considered to be a remake of The Evil Dead, however, this is not accurate. The rights to show scenes from the original could not be obtained to recap what happened, So the beginning was remade to explain how Ash got to the cabin, etc. Yeah, because the thing is, like, I don't know. When I first saw this movie a while back and then rewatching it today, it was just like, I still don't understand why they did that. I would.
I thought maybe it was because like of the cast. Maybe the cast didn't want like their scenes, like because it's only Bruce Campbell and then the new chick that plays his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So like I was maybe the old cast couldn't be in it for some legal reasons. Maybe like I don't know why either that they did that because like, it's only one movie prior. So like why rewrite it like that?
Yeah. I was actually trying to understand that too. It is weird. All right, next. The recap of The Evil Dead includes a shot where the evil force runs through the cabin and rams to Ash. When this shot was filmed, Bruce Campbell suffered a broken jaw when Sam Raimi, who was operating the camera, crashed into him with a bicycle, or so people were led to believe. This was the story concocted by Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell as a gag to see how many people would believe it actually happened. Well,
when they're going,
There's a bunch of goof.
when they're going through the house, like it's following him through the house. And he's going door to door.
mm-hmm.
You expect to believe that there was a bicycle going through those openings?
I call clear bullshit. All right, next one. The producers insisted upon using different colors of blood to avoid an X rating. This proved futile, as the MPAA gave the film an X anyway. The film was ultimately released unrated. Yeah.
Can you still do that these days? My
don't
film's
know.
I don't
unrated.
think so.
That's actually the first time I ever heard of that. I just released it unrated.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, back in the day when MPAA was like founded, that it was a lot of stuff that were like kind of like borderline, and if you had an X rating, that you couldn't be in theaters like at all, like nobody else would see it.
It's weird that they wanted to give this one an X rating. Like, all in all, like there was actually like I don't think there was any nudity in this one.
Nope.
Like there was in
No.
the other one, but it's just more blood.
They did. It's just that you couldn't really tell if those were real or not, because you remember when the girlfriend came out of the grave and then her basically dancing and she
like the fake body.
Yeah.
You see Linda's zombie titties and
the grandma.
Harrietta.
Yeah, you see her saggy old tatas.
See them saggy old fun bags.
All right, next. Rosebud, the supposed film production company, was not a real institution. Producer Dino D. I'm not going to say his last name. Was forbidden to release an unrated movie through his own company, so Rosebud was created specifically for the purposes of releasing Evil Dead 2. What? Why?
Sorry, I gotta shut the door. It's hard to hear you.
It's all good.
Maybe if you invested in some headphones.
Don't tell me what to do.
You're not the boss of me. And then nothing.
Nothing was said.
Yeah, I know.
God won the battle for me.
Sometimes this microphone really sucks.
All right, next. Most of the film was shot on a set built inside a gymnasium of the Phasian Junior High School in Wadesboro, North Carolina. Oh.
Good.
That's different because the first movie was just in the cabin. There was no set or anything. It was just a cabin. That's weird. But then again, they did a lot of more shit, so I understand.
They destroyed the hell out of that cabin this time.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Not for the better.
No. Sam Raimi credits Stephen King for making the sequel, as well as the popularity of the original, possible. Raimi couldn't acquire enough money to fund the film, so Stephen King made a few calls, since he was a huge fan of the original, and convinced financiers to give Raimi the money he needed for the sequel. Understandable. Ash's chainsaw appears to switch hands in one scene. This is because Sam Raimi decided Ash should walk the opposite way across the room in that scene, so he flipped the negative. Okay.
Wait, did you say it changed? Like
So
is it changed in the movie, or he just changed it on the fly, like he wanted it that hand while they were filming?
I guess there was more or less like they had it on one arm, and then I guess in another part of the film it switched arms. I don't.
That's
Yeah,
something I did not notice.
yeah, I didn't notice that either. The large demonic head Ash battles in the climax of the film, which the crew nicknamed the Rotten Apple Head, was too large and cumbersome for the crew to carry back to California, so it was left in North Carolina and soon disappeared. Its whereabouts were unknown for a number of years until it was found in a Halloween haunted house attraction just outside the original shooting location at Wadesboro, North Carolina.
Do you know how stoked that guy that was running that haunted house was? He was like, dude, I have probably the only head from Evil Dead 2
Yeah.
for free.
So real quick before we continue, I just wanted to say I don't get tired. I can't, and I'm not at liberty to tell you which one my favorite is because that'll spoil this whole entire season of this show. So stick around for the next 2 weeks to find out which one is my absolute favorite. Just wanted to respond to the chat. I'm sorry. Good.
No, you're
Continue, Johnny.
Thank you.
My feet stink.
All right, just continuing on. Many scenes were deleted from the movie, and according to official reports, all of them in the original version of the movie are lost. Some of these scenes I guess is more or less like just deleted scenes, but they never really talked about. Henrietta is in her rocking chair while the professor reads the incantations. Her demonic eyes are unveiled in a cabin's light. Okay. Linda's severed head throwing up black bile on Ash when trapped in the device, which is why black slime suddenly appeared around her mouth in the final scene. Why'd they cut that out? Okay.
There's a lot of stuff like that, like, you know, like when all that blood comes in like through the basement.
Yeah.
It's like she gets covered in it, and then like the next scene too, she's like completely clean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Linda's severed head extending its long snake-like tongue into Ash's mouth while in the rocking chair.
Yeah.
That would have been fucking dope if you showed that shit.
It's like, you were already gonna give it an X rating, just put it in.
It's an extended take of the blood flood with green and yellow blood. That would have been fucking dope. Come on. An extended scene.
Johnny writes a strongly worded letter to Sam Raimi.
It's like, Sam Raimi, put all this shit in right now. An extended sequence of the half-headed Ed running after the character and eventually it's chopped to pieces with his body parts flopping on the floor. That would have been fucking dope. It's just instead of just
Yeah, I would have expected these choices way more than what was there.
Yeah, no shit. A possessed Ash eating a squirrel after he runs after Annie. That's hilarious.
PETA!
Ash's demonic face morphing back to normal after taking his dead girlfriend's necklace. Yeah, that would have been dope if you actually can see it coming back. That would have been cool.
Well, they didn't really have the technology.
I know. That's understandable.
I mean, some movies had a little bit of stuff like that, but it was always like, you know, like a really bad transformation.
Yeah. Fans of the movie did manage to find a very rare 36-minute work print of the film, which only has very early versions of opening and ending scenes with a few extra shots, including an old rare TV version of the movie with many alternate and extended scenes, but unfortunately does not include all the famous deleted scenes.
I want the deleted scenes.
I wanted to so bad.
Yeah. Apparently, this is Bruce Campbell's favorite film of the trilogy.
Good.
All right. Cool.
Good.
The zombified Henrietta was actually played by Sam Raimi's little brother, Ted Raimi. He was forced to wear an extremely heavy full-body latex suit with the addition of eye lenses and fake teeth. The only body part of Ted's the audience can see is his tongue when his mouth is open. The shooting location of Westboro, North Carolina, was going through a heat wave at the time, and a combination of this and the cumbersome suit made the production extremely difficult for Ted Raimi. He would quickly become overheated and profusely sweat in the suit. The special effects team would have to pour the liters of sweat out of the suit into styrofoam cups at the end of the shoot every day. In the climax of the film, The sweat can be seen pouring out of Henrietta's ear when she's flying through the air attacking Annie. Viewers can see it at the bottom of the screen when she turns to ash and screams. There's a rumor that the effects team somehow used the collective sweat in a horrendous prank on Ted on his last day in the suit.
Aw.
Ew.
Ted.
Was that the first? Was that the first movie that he put his brother in, or was he in the first one too somewhere?
I think he was in the first one, wasn't he?
I have no idea.
I
I don't remember. I didn't watch it before we did Evil Dead review.
I think he was in there like somehow, but I think it was like clearly known if he was or not. But I'm pretty sure he was. I could be wrong though. Sam Raimi's original idea for the sequel was to toss the character of Ash through a time portal to the Middle Ages. This ultimately became the plot to Army of Darkness, the third Evil Dead film. Alright. The smoke that comes from the chainsaw is actually tobacco smoke. Sam Raimi rigged tubing to the back of the chainsaw, hit off camera, and blew cigarette smoke through the tube to create the effect. Alright.
Again, props to them for this movie for the practical effects. I mean, that's like the reason I kept watching it.
Same. The sexy, surly Bobby Joe was inspired by Holly Hunter, who was a housemate of Sam Raimi's in the early 80s, along with Joel Cohen and Frances McDormand. One particular...
Wait. Did you say the sexy Bobby Joe?
That's what it says, a sexy, surly Bobby Joe.
I thought you said sex scene with Bobby Joe.
Oh, no. The
I heard
sexy.
you say sexy, but I'm like, she was supposed to be a sexy character. What?
Yeah.
Well, it was 1987, so we don't know what they considered sexy.
Bush. And Bush Light.
One particular incident inspired the character. Hunter was auditioning for a hooker part and was unusually makeup and wearing a sexy short-skirted outfit. She became angry at Raimi when he somehow lured at her. Raimi pulled from Hunter to play the part, but the producers wanted someone sexier. Alright then.
I don't understand.
I don't know. The rat seen on the stairs over Bruce Campbell's shoulder while he's locked in the cellar was nicknamed Senor Cojones by the crew. Alright then.
The famous rat. That's almost as famous as the naked mole rat from Kim Possible.
I like that mole rat. Don't be hating on him.
Rufus?
Rufus is
Yeah.
shit.
Dude.
What's the sitch?
Oh god. In a
I got a rat stuck in my ass.
Ew. Alright, moving on.
I need Kim Possible to help me get it out.
Ew. In a visual pun, one of the books on the can that traps Ash's possessed hand is Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms. Yep.
Yeah, because it's in symbolism of him cutting off his hand.
Yeah, I remember.
So he's saying farewell.
Yeah, I saw it and I went, ha!
The actors were completely blind when they had to wear an opaque contact lens when they were playing possessed versions of their characters. The only way they knew how or and where to move was through rigorous rehearsals. I kind of figured that.
Man, Sam Raimi put these actors and actresses through the freaking ringer.
Yeah, like
yeah, we're just gonna blind all of you. You're actually gonna be blind. Like you won't have any depth at all.
none. At 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 5 seconds, Ash's first utterance of his signature comment, groovy.
I love how it went quiet when you said groovy.
I know.
Groovy.
It's like, okay, so...
Oh, God, I love Ash.
Yeah, so do I. That was one thing that I wanted to talk about, too, because we just tried to talk about this at the first review, and I think it was me or somebody else said that there's a possibility that the first time he actually said it was an Army of Darkness, but I got it wrong, and it was this movie.
Yeah. Idiot.
I love Johnny's mad voice. He's like a grandpa.
A grumpy old man. The tape recorder was one of the few holdovers from the original film. Okay. The eyeball swallowing shot was actually filmed in reverse. That shit was disgusting.
I love it.
Sam Raimi and Rob Tappard's original idea for the film's plot had Ash held captive in a cabin by a group of escaped convicts searching for buried treasure. Bobby Joe's death was originally planned for a man and would have been much more violent, with him being split in half by a tree. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright. The sounds of the evil traveling through the forest were a combination of Sam Raimi's voice and audio samples of Orson Welles, technically making this the last film he appeared in any capacity. Damn.
That's funny.
What's your
What a way
favorite
to end.
film? Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Apparently, Evil Dead 2 was ranked number 19 in Entertainment Weekly's top 50 cult films of all time.
I'm surprised it's that low.
I said the exact same thing.
I thought it would have been in the top 5 for sure. I'm really confused.
But the thing is, like, you gotta realize the fact that 2 in Army of Darkness is kind of like more people went to go see Army of Darkness more than they said to seen the second movie. Because, like, it has that following. The film is a sequel as spelled out precisely in the end credits. Evil Dead 2, the sequel to the ultimate experience in grueling terror, was filmed in Wadesboro, North Carolina, and Detroit, USA. No? Okay, then.
Nice.
When Ash was driving away from the forest in the beginning after driving to the bridge and seeing it had been destroyed, the branches that hit Bruce in the face were controlled by Sam. Ha!
Hey, Bruce, walk this way. Fucking lets it go on his face.
Take this, bastard!
I'm going to do a lot worse to you, so.
Yeah. Let me just do a few more. I want to actually get into the reviews. I'm
ready to get pissed.
I know. The German the German titles for The Evil Dead and this movie translate as Dance of the Devils and Dance of the Devils 2, respectively. Out of both film movies, the scene where Linda's demonic form dances marks the only time where a devilish creature is actually seen dancing. That's funny.
Yeah.
Let me see. All right. Shot in the small North Carolina town of Wadesboro, which had been much larger film unit 2 years earlier when Steven Spielberg shot The Color Purple there. Oh. Okay.
Isn't that Prince movie?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, it's not.
No. God damn.
I think I'm the only person ever asked that. Isn't that Prince movie?
Wait, that's Purple Rain.
Exactly. Yeah. I wasn't going to correct you. I knew you were in the wrong.
They're the same thing.
No! They're not!
They're not the same thing. They're not the same thing. That was a good one. I like that. That should have been funnier.
All right, and then one more. The image shown in accompanying comments at 54 minutes 30 seconds may be teasers for the next sequel. I didn't see anything or recognize anything.
Wait, what was that one?
It said the image shown in accompanying comments at 54 minutes and 30 seconds may be teasers for the next sequel.
I didn't catch anything.
It was the I think it was when they were trying to like look through the sheets and they had the picture of Ash like holding up his chainsaw.
That would make sense then.
And like they had the pictures of like the medieval background.
Yeah, it's when they're talking about the prophecy.
Yeah. Okay, now it makes sense. All right.
No. They're all shouting hail. Sorry.
No, you're fine. All right, before we get into reviews, I'm gonna do the plot, and then we can get on with the business. All right, a young man named Ash takes his girlfriend Linda to a secluded cabin in the woods where he plays back a professor's tape recording.
Hold on.
Huh?
I like how they're driving up there and Linda looks over at him and she goes, "This place is, deserted, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, I think so." He doesn't care. This man's just trying to get laid. Come on.
Oh yeah, he just get that bottle of wine. Like, we gonna get down to business.
Come on, baby. Do you want me to open up a bottle of champagne? You are a man, or I am a man.
You are a man.
At least the last time I checked, you were. Oh God, I can't wait to get into this.
Oh
All right,
god,
sorry.
okay, all right. You're fine. You're fine. The professor's tape recorded recitation of passages from the Book of the Dead. The spell calls up an evil force from the woods, which turned Linda into a monstrous deadite, and threatens to do the same to Ash. When the professor's daughter and her entourage show up at the cabin, the night turns into a non-stop, grotesquely comic battle with chainsaw and shotgun on one side, demon horde and flying eyeball on the other. Well, let's get into the reviews, shall we?
All right, so I have that wheel spin thing up and ready to go. We can't show it.
I know,
but
go ahead.
I bet it lands on Matt first.
I don't have Matt's name on here. It's the three of us. So I'm gonna click it.
Go ahead.
Spin the wheel.
And it landed on Kyle. Kyle is first.
All right, dude. I'm gonna come on and say it. I don't like this movie.
Starting off strong and angry. I don't like the negativity.
Listen, the first one, it has cheesy acting, of course, but it is a horror movie, and you can feel the tension, in the first movie. In this one, there is none of that for me. I understand it's a horror comedy, and that's not the genre I like to watch necessarily, unless it's like a scary movie where it's a parody movie. But we mix the comedy and the horror, not for me. I feel like the changing the plot around, having the actors from the first one not in it at all except for Bruce Campbell, fucked with me. I don't like continuity problems, and that bothered me right off the start. And then yet again, the tension I'm not horrified in this at all. I don't even laugh at the comedy because it's so cheesy to me. I don't think that it's a funny movie. I'm sorry, guys. I can see the disappointment on your face.
No, it's just probably because I agree with you.
What I can respect of the movie is the practical effects. Yes, they did do an amazing job again with the practical effects. Especially, I think my favorite scene is probably when Ash is screaming and he's laughing along with everything else in the room and everything.
So good. I love it when he goes. He's like up, down with the lamp, and he goes. Ah!
And the only like that. And one of the parts that I did find that was a little makes you what's the fucking word where you're like, oh god, I don't like that.
Cringy.
Yeah, cringy, but not in a bad way. He cringed because of it's weird. Was when the mom's in the cellar and she's looking up and she's singing that lullaby to her daughter.
Yeah,
that's the only time that I'm that's fucked up.
Don't you cry. Mama's
it turned into an Eminem song.
Oh.
But yeah, there's not much more to say about the movie. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know, because it's the same thing throughout. It's just the same pace. Annoying people are screaming. There's some cheesy lines. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I watch horror movies.
Joe! Where are you going?
I hated listening to him scream. I hated listening to the daughter of the scientist scream. God. I was annoyed. I'm good with never watching the movie again. I'm sorry, guys.
No, okay, so wait, before we do that. Out of 10, considering how bad you think this movie is,
I'll give it a 5.5.
That's generous.
Not for me. Not for me.
Oh man.
Well, you know what? I don't care that it's not for you because moving right along, Johnny, the wheel has chosen you. You seem to agree with this asshat. Let's hear it.
All right. So
let's hear about your poor taste in movies.
People have said that I've liked movies that people really don't like, and This is not one of them because I enjoyed it for all the practical effects, all the blood, and all the cheesy shit in there. But like Kyle said, like I didn't laugh like at all at any of these things. It was enjoyable just to relax and just turn your brain off, and you knew what type of movie you was gonna be watching, like completely. And it's just like it was it was what it was, and like it's not really like the top tier thing. Like it's a cult movie, like it's part of a cult trilogy, and but that's the only thing that it has going for it. And I can't do it.
That's where all that money went. That budget money was the practical effects, in my opinion.
Yeah, because like compared to the first movie, they basically went over and beyond to do crazy shit in this movie, like with basically everything. And I do appreciate that. I'm not gonna knock it for that. It's just that it was kind of like a little step away into what it eventually will be with the comedy aspect. Because compared to the first movie, it was low budget, and it was suspenseful, and it was supposed to be like basically scared the shit out of you. This one wasn't really that. It was just like a fun, like in your face practical effect bonanza.
That's pretty much like how I felt about it. I was like they pretty much got the budget to do everything they wanted to do in the first movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just like what could have been in the first movie. Oh, here it all is just bunched together.
Yeah, and it's just like the only thing is like what really bothered me was the whole aspect of them not being able to get the original cast to like continue the story, because it just felt like, all right, we're gonna throw this out and then we're gonna start here and then move on from there. And it's just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know.
Yeah, it felt like a reboot sequel to me, and I was like, I don't like it.
Yeah, like I don't know. I couldn't really get behind it, but it's a setup to a better thing, so I'm not really hit on too much. Rating, I'll say like a 6.5 out of 10. I can already tell Andrew does not like.
Andrew's gonna start throwing shit around his fucking room.
I will decide. I will spin the wheel to decide who speaks last.
Who's next?
And the last one to go is me. Okay, question. Which one did you see first, Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2?
That was one I saw first.
So you both saw Evil Dead 1 before you saw Evil Dead 2, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that has a big reason why you like the first one more than the sequel. Myself, I didn't see the first one until I became really good friends with Nate. I had only seen Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness because of my brother. I don't know why I never watched the first one, but I remember watching the first one with Nate and just falling asleep because I was like, this movie is long, it drags on, it's boring. Johnny, Black Kool-Aid from the set. What do you have to say?
The thing is, that's one thing I didn't want to admit when we first did the first review. This would be the second time of me watching the very first movie, and I fell asleep again.
Listen, if we can't have honest conversations with ourselves here, Johnny, what are we even doing?
For the record, I did not fall asleep while watching the movie.
But the thing is, I knew what was going on. So,
in all honesty,
there's a big reason I didn't want to watch the first one to do my review. Okay, so Evil Dead 2, this movie just throws you right into the goddamn thick of shit. Right? It starts off 10-15 minutes in, you're already getting Linda decapitated. Okay. It moves so fast up until a certain point. I think the movie goes so great at what it is, so good at what it is doing until you meet up with Annie, her dumb boyfriend, Pete and Skeet, and Bobby Joe. Like when those characters are introduced, I was just like, come on, we don't need all of these people. I think the magic of this movie is Ash battling the Evil Dead, the house itself. I love that scene when he's first thrown out and he's like spinning all like weird and wacky because it's the practical effects are amazing and it's just so funny. And when he lands back and he like looks around and the camera pans around and he realizes he's still in front of the house and not like thousands of miles away like you think he is, but it was all just the demons fucking with him. And he's standing in front of the house and it laughs maniacally and you see like a face and the way like the steps are set up, it looks like a mouth. Like that is cool. The story should have just been Ash versus the house, but for some reason they had to add more characters, character development, plot twists and storylines.
You think that's how they wrote the movie too? Like doing that?
I don't know if you can hear my keyboard.
I heard it a little bit.
Okay, cool. Good. Dramatic effect. But no, I love, you guys both talked a lot about it, the practical effects, but one thing I didn't like was the CG that they relied on pretty heavily, especially one scene when he's fighting off Harrietta. Why am I getting a phone call? Why is Jean Ann calling me right now? She just stopped. So one scene in particular is when he's fighting off what's her name? Harrietta?
Yeah, I think it's Harrietta. Yeah, Harrietta.
Yeah. When he's fighting off Harrietta with his chainsaw, first off, Jean Ann pointed it out. He's not even using his chainsaw, okay? He's just
punching.
This horribly just rendered in CG monster that looks just like garbage, but whatever. I think they should have done more practical effects. You guys kept the practical effects are so good, they're so good.
Yeah.
So why didn't they just make everything practical? Why was there so much CG in this?
Not CG, claymation.
Sorry, claymation.
Motion.
Is it like But yeah, it's more or less like they did in the first movie, like they wanted to mix it in. I guess it was more or less like it was either them not really having that much money to do more or something.
I mean, I could see them having, budget cuts. I mean, because there is a lot of, like, almost the whole movie has some sort of effect going through it somewhere. And especially, like, even when you look at the ending with, like, how much you think the tree, what was it called? The rotten apple tree or whatever? Like, how much do you think that thing fucking costs to make by itself?
Yeah. I know it sounds like I'm just absolutely hating on it, but I'm not. I'm just kind of just getting all the crap that I don't like out of the way. But basically, I really like Ash in this movie. I feel like he becomes an actual icon and he becomes this, larger than life character, which is really cool. I feel like you need those in these types of horror films. Like you have Freddy and you have Jason and Michael Myers. They're all larger than life type characters. And it's cool that you have a protagonist that is the larger than life character. He is a comic book character come to life, like groovy. Who says that? Okay, when you have a shotgun, you're not going to sit there and say groovy. It's just weird. And the fact that they went all out and literally gave him a chainsaw on his hand and a shotgun, which he saws off and turns into a sawed-off shotgun, that's amazing. That's so cool. That's straight up like a video game. And I think that's a big reason why I like this one so much more too, is just that it's like a video game in a comic book. It's just so over the top. It's so, like, years later, Duke Nukem, like, rips off Ash, so much. But it just reminds me so much of what I loved growing up playing Duke Nukem. And it was just dumb one-liners and stuff like that. And I think, like I said, that's a big reason why I like it more than the first one, because it's not as dry. It is just go, 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 go. Splatter and blood. Throw in some characters. I don't know. I just think it's more fun, and that's why I like it more. Go on.
I was gonna say that might be my problem with it. Like, I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of those like mindless gore movies. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like what this is in a way.
Yeah.
Like it just never really sat with me. Like I've seen a lot of them, but I'm just never been like, oh man, that's crazy. I got to watch this again. I'm just like, I'm over it,
See, no joke, and I get a lot of hate for this. One of my all-time favorite movies is straight up the Carl Urban Dread movie. And that is just
that movie too.
It's an hour and a half of just Dread running and just slaughtering people.
Oh, wait, which one? You talking about the newest one?
Yeah, the Carl Urban film.
Yeah.
where Carl Urban is Dredd. He
I
is the judge.
dude, I love that fucking movie too. Like seeing that shit.
So why don't you love this?
I do just like no. It's just like I like it. It's not so much the fact that I don't like it. It's just that the fact that there's so many other things that were kind of wrong with it that took over all the stuff that I liked. It was just like it was more or less like a placeholder. There's just like it felt like a placeholder to like the big one out of the what is supposed to be the trilogy. It's just I don't know. Like I like a lot of shit, but it's just like the big shit was the bad things that just couldn't get over it. Like I couldn't get over the fucking screaming of this bitch. Like or it's just like I couldn't stand it. It's just like why are you screaming? It's like you barely touched you. Why are you screaming? I don't understand. And not to mention the fact that this
I had to do that too. I had to look up at Brittany when we were watching. I was like, I want her to be quiet. I don't want to listen to it anymore. I was like,
Yeah. So, I'm basically done talking about the movie. I think it's awesome. I think if this was just Evil Dead and Evil Dead 1 didn't exist, do you guys think you would like it more?
yeah.
probably, yeah, because I would be, I wouldn't be expecting like a tension-filled movie. I'd be like, what is this? Oh, that's just Evil Dead.
Right.
There wouldn't be like expectations from the first to second, I guess.
Yeah. It's
I mean, I don't know. There's really not too much more to say about it. I mean, like I said, I like it more than the first one, but I don't think it's a good movie by all means. I have to make sure I say that too. Like, it's overall, it's not a good film. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things wrong with it. The acting is absolutely horrible. Like that scene that I was just talking about earlier when they're first there, and what's her name? Linda. She's like, I don't feel comfortable here. And he goes, why don't I open up some champagne, baby? I'm a man. You're a woman. Or at least the last time I checked.
Yeah, I like.
What is that?
I feel like was I supposed to really laugh at that? Or,
I know.
yeah.
like, huh?
Yeah. I think, and a lot of it also, too, for me, is nostalgia. You know, like seeing where this awesome character comes from. And this is the groundwork that obviously, like you said, Johnny, too, which leads into something bigger, but we'll talk about that next week. And I don't know. It has a special place in my heart, so much more than the first one does. But again, like I said, though, I think it's because I saw this one first. And as a kid, my attention span, even to this day, was very small. So anything that was fast, to the point, covered in blood, I was there.
Yeah. No, I understand. There's also some facts that like Easter eggs that were in this movie that I want to talk about. Is that okay?
Well, can't I get mine out of 10?
Hmm?
I never got to give it my ranking or my rating.
Your ranking. Sorry, sir.
My bad.
So-
Go ahead.
I give this movie 6 deadites out of 10, baby.
All right, sweet. Oh. All right.
I just want Ash's head on Andrew while he does that little movement he did.
Baby.
But do you want me? Is that okay if I riddle some?
Oh yeah, go ahead. List them.
Okay. This one is actually I completely forgot. Somebody talked about this a while back. A glove belonging to the Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger character can be seen hanging above the door of the tool shed when Ash carves his girlfriend's head into with a chainsaw, and who he's looking for the pages in the later cellar scenes. This was in response to the use of the Evil Dead on a television screen in Nightmare on Elm Street. That's cool.
Yeah,
Isn't Johnny Depp watching Evil Dead?
Oh yeah.
Right now?
No, not right now. I just meant like in Nightmare on Elm Street wasn't Johnny Depp
Oh yeah.
dead while he was trying to stay awake?
Yeah, when he was in bed with that little TV, he was watching Evil Dead. Yeah, I remember that. Further evidence that this is a sequel rather than a remake, as the original screenplay called for footage from the original movie with a narrative recapping the current story. However, rights were not obtained, and basically they couldn't really get any footage from the first movie. The poster for the movie shows a close-up of a skeleton with eyes. This creature is not seen anywhere in the movie, but a similar enemy does show up in the sequel.
Real quick, A Fatal Taco says Evil Dead, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th are a shared universe. Yeah, I was going to bring up that too. Did any of you guys read those comics, Ash versus Freddy versus Jason?
I didn't really get a chance to delve into those comics, but I knew they were a thing, and I didn't really delve any further than that.
Well, that's where Freddy versus Jason came from. Is they did that one, and then it didn't do well, so they just scrapped the idea to do Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. But that would have been a really, really cool thing to see.
I really would have liked to see that because Freddy versus Jason, I really love that movie.
That movie was so fucking good.
Going back on my thing where I say about comedy horror, I mean, I guess that's the one I like.
It's because when it comes to horror, I like a lot of stuff, and it takes a lot to really rub me the wrong way. And there is actually one movie in particular that A Fatal Taco actually saw with me, Shaun of the Dead. That's a good horror comedy. It's so good, and it's I loved every bit of it. It's a zombie movie and it was comedic, and it was so damn good.
Yeah, because you could definitely do it right, and that is one of the movies that did it right.
Mm-hmm. And I think I have one more fact here. The scene where Ash is doused in blood coming from the wall was filmed by placing Bruce Campbell horizontally on the floor, and then pouring gallons. What happened?
I said hot.
Hot? Okay. Horizontally on the floor, and then pouring gallons of fake blood onto him from above. The scene was filmed with the camera turned 90 degrees to create the illusion that he was standing upright. So much blood was dumped on Campbell that not only did he feel like he was nearly drowning, he would also produce red snot for the next 2 weeks every time he blew his nose. To make matters worse, his insistence that authentic Carol syrup formula was used to simulate the blood made him a target for every fly in the neighborhood.
So, A Fatal Taco said Apollo 18 is funny depending on your mood.
Fuck that movie! That movie's garbage! That movie's so fucking bad! God!
And then our good pal I Don't Get Tired said Shaun of the Dead is one of the best movies, definitely top 3 zombie movies, and I have to agree.
Yes.
But real quick, I wanted to just say, so you know how they filmed that scene where they just turned it 90 degrees and stuff like that? Isn't that how they filmed some of the Spider-Man scenes as well in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films? So it's just cool that he went on to, do that as well. And then also
15 years later too, using the same techniques, which is pretty cool.
It's so cool. I can't wait until we do Spider-Man in review and we do those movies and we do the Andrew Garfield ones and it's gonna be such a good one.
Talk about those all fucking day.
Well, that's eventually gonna happen. But some more things I wanted to mention. So news broke, and we all know about it. Sam Raimi is gonna be directing Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Now, I have a couple things I wanted to bring up about that because it kind of ties in with Evil Dead and what we're talking about. So it's not off brand or off topic. So one is in Evil Dead 2 when he's getting sucked into the big sphere that's going to transport him to 1300 AD to the castle. The effects that they use kind of look a little bit like the effects that they used for Doctor Strange when he was going through the multiverse. And I was like, I wonder if they kind of got some of those effects or if I'm just putting weird coincidences together, which would then make sense for having Sam Raimi come and do Multiverse of Madness. But it's also because it's going to be a horror movie, horror comedy film, just like Evil Dead 2. So maybe that's why they're having Sam Raimi come on. But also, what if? Now, I don't know who I mentioned this to. I think it was maybe last week or maybe with Jean Ann when we were just watching one of these movies. What if there's an Ash and Evil Dead cameo in Multiverse of Madness?
That would be. I would like it. Of course, if it's not I'm sure it'll be one of those things where it's just in your face right away, really quick, and then it goes away. How in Guardians of the Galaxy, how where they go through the space portal, then Stan Lee's there on the planet talking those aliens. Yeah, and it's just there for a second. I bet it could do something like that, and it could be pretty funny.
Yeah, they could do that. They could even that's how they could bring back Tobey Maguire. They could pop into that Spider-Man's multiverse.
Yeah, that's what I said last time because like you know how he always has his brothers in the movie, so like he could like pop into that real quick and like see him like in the Daily Bugle or something, and then pop out of that universe. Like I think that would be a really funny thing.
Well, and also too, kind of going back to what you were saying about popping in and out of things. What was
Think of popping each other's assholes.
I was gonna say something. Oh my gosh, what was I gonna say?
Think, Jimmy Neutron. Think.
Think.
Cum blast. What was it?
9/11. Sorry.
No, you're.
You
fine,
have been
dude.
banned from Twitch for terrorism.
Oh man, I promise I was gonna say something else, but I can't remember what it was. Oh,
It's all right.
Campbell's gonna be in it, right? You have to imagine because he's in every Sam
I'm
Raimi
sure.
film. So that'll be cool. But I would love to see him reprise Ash. And he's just like Doctor Strange just pops up and Bruce just looks at him and goes, groovy, and he just pops out. Like that's all you need. And the audience and everyone will freaking explode.
You know what would be a good scene to do it? Because like in the other Spider-Man, in Spider-Man 2, we're thinking of a name for Dr. Octopus. His brother actually is the one that says Doctor Strange, and he goes, but it's taken. But like if he's like outside the window or something when he says that,
Yeah, that'd be so good, dude. I like
that would
the
be
way
the scene to do it.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's funny. Yeah, is anybody else? Do you guys have anything else to say about Evil Dead 2?
No.
It's off my watch list for probably ever. That's all I got to say about it.
Our vote to see which one's better.
Evil Dead 1's better to me.
So, everyone in favor of Evil Dead 1, raise your hand. Who here thinks Evil Dead 2 is better than Evil Dead? Well, that means Evil Dead so far is number 1 on our list. Dang it. I gotta write this down. I gotta make sure I save these. I saved the horrible atrocity that was the Batman movies. I'm just joking. I completely agree with that list so much.
So next week we're doing Army of Darkness, huh?
Yeah, and apparently my brother's joining.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
No, I can't wait for that.
Now I've only seen Army of Darkness like one time, probably like 10 years ago. So that's one I'm definitely rewatching this week.
Yeah.
I was actually the very first time I actually watched the Army of Darkness was at they had this thing called the Massacre that they had like 24-hour horror movie marathon in Chicago, and they actually had it at, I'm not sure what version it was, but they aired it there, and that was my first time actually watching it with a group of people. It was awesome.
I went to Sawfest and I saw 1 through 7 at the Portage 16.
You went
I
to
only
that?
like saw one.
You seriously went to that?
You went to that?
No, because I wanted to know because I like those movies. I'm like one of the majority that enjoys all of those Saw movies, including Jigsaw. People don't like anything past 3, let alone 2.
That's me.
That's all I'm saying.
I was gonna say it too. Like 3, and that was it. After that, I was done.
Yeah, it's like I enjoy all those movies. That's why I was asking, because like I was considering doing that because I like those movies that much, and I wanted to see if somebody actually did. That's good. Did you have a good time?
Yeah. I mean, except for the fact that I was in a movie theater for my entire day.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. They stopped making sense and they ruined their own timeline. I agree. Hey, I don't get tired. Would you ever want to be on one of these movie podcasts? If you do, just shoot me a DM on Twitter and we'll talk about it. But
Jupiju!
Oh, Jupichu, she's coming in late. What's up?
she gets on right when we're getting ready to leave. Jupiju, real quick, before we take off, which is better, Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2? We have 3 votes for Evil Dead because I Don't Get Tired also voted for Evil Dead. But 1 vote
3-1 right now.
We can't do anything until Jupiju answers. So this is a test to see if she's actually watching.
And we just stare. Wait for her response.
Well, I got to see the screen.
I don't know.
That's not good enough.
That's not an answer.
Dang. And just like that, our hearts were all broken.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why she hasn't watched them.
I haven't watched them.
Oh.
Okay,
let me ask you this then.
All right, you got to watch them both this week and then let us know on our next podcast.
Let me ask you this then. Are you a horror fan?
Can we do the stare again?
Yes, do the stare again.
Oh, she's on the spot.
No. Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. If you're not a fan of it, that's not a big deal.
Oh, all right. Do you want to go to the
Aw, you're fine.
socials, Andrew?
So Wednesday, are we playing real quick? Are we playing Fall Guys with Max?
I'm down to play Fall Guys. Just gotta let him know to see what he's up to.
I have plenty of snobby movie opinions to go around. Good. That's why I want you on here. That'd be a lot of fun. Like I said, just shoot me a DM. Slime up in my DMs. Is that a song?
I think you're thinking Venom by Eminem.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like at the.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Wednesday at 8 p.m., we are all going to be getting on and playing some more Fall Guys. So I hope you're all excited to do that. That'll be over at twitch.tv/BigBoyLittleBoyGaming. That'll be a lot of fun. We haven't played that in a while. And then Friday will be the return of the BBLB Games Cast. We kind of took a little day off on Friday. I think everyone was just kind of like tired, exhausted. I don't even remember what was going on. I know I had my hot water heater stuff, but that's why I backed out. And then we just recorded another episode of whatever the heck that show is. It doesn't really have a title right now. We just called the stream BBLB Hangout. But that was a lot of fun. I like doing those. I want to do more of those. I wish we could just do this forever. Just have more time in our lives and just do more podcasts.
We never leave the front of the computer.
Yeah. I just want to do more podcasts and play video games all day with my friends, but I can't because I have to have a job and I have to pay bills and take care of a wife, take care of a baby. I'm not saying I hate those things. I love those things. Those things are awesome. But anyway,
You make them seem awesome, but man.
Gosh darn the adulting. That's how I feel. GPG, that's how I feel. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining in on another episode of Big Screen, Little Screen, where we talk, discuss, review, and reconsider some of your big screen favorites for your little screen pleasure. You watched this at twitch.tv/BigBoyLittleBoyGaming. You can head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/BigBoyLittleBoy. We have 3 different tiers that you can subscribe to. Tier 1 is only $1, which you get some cool fun stuff. Tier 2 is $5, which you get the same stuff as the first tier, more. And then tier 3, the gold member, yeah, baby. You get everything in 1 and 2, and you get a chance to hop on a Discord call with us, have fun with us, get on one of those podcasts of your choice, whether it's Big Screen, Little Screen, or play a game with us on a Wednesday, or be on the BBLB Games Cast. It's a lot of fun. Go to our YouTube. Unfortunately, don't have 100 subs because you guys just don't love us enough. That's plain and simple. We sit here in front of these gosh dang screens for hours on end, putting out this content. You guys couldn't even get us to 100 subs. I'm just joking. We love you. I still can't believe the amount of things we've been able to do through BBLB. Like, this is cool. This is like a really cool thing, and I can't wait to keep doing it. But anyway, youtube.com, you just got to go in the search bar, Big Boy, one word, space, Little Boy. We had a watch party, actually, for our latest video on Sunday. That was fun. We should do that more often. New Uncharted video is up right now. Big Screen, Little Screen, episode 4, which was Evil Dead, last week's review, is up also now on our YouTube. Check out our podcast over at anchor.fm/BigBoyLittleBoy, where you can catch all the Big Screen, Little Screen episodes, all of the BBLB Gamescast episodes, and I didn't get up the first BBLB Hangout episode because I don't know who has it. Johnny doesn't have it. Kyle, you might have it saved on your computer, so...
Oh, yeah, I do. I do have that.
Yeah, so not only are we up on anchor.fm/BigBoyLittleBoy, but we're also on Spotify. If you just search Big Boy Little Boy, you will find all of our podcasts on there. Like, review, comment on all of those. Give us 5-star ratings because you love us, because we love you, and we'll spread the love. And, of course, if you want to keep up on everything and anything BBLB, you can go to our Twitter at BBLB Gaming, where me, post whatever I feel like, whenever I feel like. Sometimes I like to shout out people who I feel deserve the attention. And, AKA Jupiju. Everyone go to Jupiju. Follow her on Twitter. Follow her on Twitch. She's a cool gamer chick. She's playing Destiny 2 a lot of the time. She's been playing Fall Guys with her man. It's a great time. They're cool people. We like them. You like them. But that's all I got. Johnny, You want to end this bad boy?
Yes, sir.